So in the last video, we put on the first coat of stain and we worked on the neck. And during that time, I have finished staining the body. And it came out a very nice purple. I didn't do a very good job staining. I'm not a very good woodworker. And when it comes to staining, apparently I'm not very good at it because there are some spots that are uneven. So hopefully when we lay out this rub and buff, it'll hopefully mask my mistakes. Now the neck, I did decide to go with teak oil on it, and I stained it, made it way more roastier than it was before. I'm gonna let it set for a while before I try to put the headstock logo on and then oil over it. I just want that teak oil that I'm using. And all teak oil really is these days is boiled linseed oil and varnish. So it's not essentially an oil that'll be greasy all the time. It eventually hardens up. So that'll serve as our clear coat in the end. But I do want to make sure that it's nice and hardened up before I try to put water slide decals on the headstock. So I'm gonna glove up and we're gonna get ready. We're gonna rub this rub and buff silver into the grain, let it dry for about 25 minutes or so, and then come back and try to rub it off, and hopefully it comes out pretty decent. A little of this rub and buff goes a long way. You can pick it up at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. I think it's about $8. Might be more than that. I'm not 100% sure. So we're gonna put a little bit on, and we wanna really rub it and push it into the grain. All right, some of that's already starting to dry, so I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it alone. Hopefully I pushed it in that grain enough, and we'll come back in about 20 minutes or so and rub it out with some teak oil, see how it comes out. Okay, so I went a little longer than I anticipated. I went 30 minutes, so hopefully it didn't stay on there too long. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take a paper towel. We're gonna have another one ready here. We're gonna kind of get saturated and put it on there and start rubbing it off, and hopefully it'll leave enough silver in the grain that it'll look good. Can you leave it on there too long? I don't know. We're about to find out. I'm gonna get some of this other stuff saturated, kind of working in, because the solvents in the teak oil will break up the stuff on the outside. Just kind of rub it in. We'll see how well it comes off in a minute here. See where we need to maybe clean up some. And you're gonna need a lot of paper towels for this part, because it's gonna make a mess. She's got to get the excess off. That's the thing. Getting this excess off and leaving enough in the wood grain where it still looks good. Some of this stuff is going to be covered by the pick guard anyway. But that is our first run. I hope you can see that in the video. It's got a nice silver grain to it. And hopefully, in better lighting, you'll be able to see it even better. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to clean up the outsides. I'm going to let this thoroughly dry. And then I'm gonna hit probably the other side tomorrow and the edges. And then we'll come back and we'll see how it looks. So here's the finished product. I'm trying to get the right light so you can see the silver in the grain. And it actually came out really nice. I'll flip it over here for you. The back side looks great, but I'm getting a little glare off that overhead light. But it looks really nice, and I'm gonna finish putting some teak oil on it, and I'm gonna let it dry for a few days, and then we'll start assembly. The neck turned out really good. I got some water transfer decals for LaserJet printer, and I printed up my own little logo and whatnot on there, and everything else came out really nice. I'm gonna put one more coat of teak oil on that, and this is what I finished it with. This is Minwax Wood Finish Gunstock 231, and that's what gave it that nice dark roastiness to it. So yeah, next step will be assembly, and it'll be the final video. I split the finishing up into 2 parts because the first part was just way too long with the neck. So hopefully this one's a lot shorter, and it came out, and I'll have my final thoughts after assembly. Thanks for watching.